Here are the solutions for the mock exam of unit circle. The two formula sheet equations that you need are these. Remember that this L here is the arc length and A is the sector area. Okay, so for this first problem, it shows a circle with an unknown radius r, and the length of the arc is 3 pi. Length of the arc ABC. This is 3 pi long. And the angle AOC, is 2 pi over 9. They already labeled it for us. Okay, so find the value of r. We're going to use the arc length equation, right? Because we know that the L value is 3 pi. We don't know r. And we know that theta is 2 pi over 9. Okay, so let's see. The pi's cancel out. Multiply both sides by 9 halves. And so if we multiply both sides by 9 halves, 9 halves here, 9 halves here, we will get 27 halves equals r. Because that cancels out, right? So the answer is 27 halves, which is 13.5 centimeters. So does that look like it's about 13.5 centimeters? 3 pi, by the way, is about 10. So find the perimeter of the sector ABC. Okay. So they're saying perimeter. Perimeter for rectangle is something we're very familiar with. Perimeter for a circle or like an arc is not something we're really familiar with, but it's the same thing. It's the amount of fence you would put around the property. So we can find that by adding up the two radiuses and the arc length, right? So if we take the radius and we add the radius and we add the arc length, we will get the perimeter. And we already know all those things, right? We know 13.5 is the radius, plus 13.5 is the radius, plus we know the arc length is 3 pi. So we could put 27 plus 3 pi, or we could multiply it out. Remember, our calculator even has a pi button. We could do second pi and then multiply it times 3, and that'll give us 9.42. And then we can add 27, and that gives us 36.4. And then we go to C. Find the area of the sector ABC. So the area of this pizza slice here. The area, we're going to use the area equation, A equals theta r squared divided by 2, which is on the formula sheet. So area equals theta r squared over 2. Theta, we know, is 2 pi over 9. 2 pi over 9. R is 13.5, which we found above, divided by 2. And so this is just, you know, a lot of calculator multiplication and division. So 2 times pi, we could either put 3.14 or we could put the pi symbol times 13.5 squared. And look, I even did something that, you know, I could have canceled out these 2's. That would make things easier, right? Now, if I divide by 2 times 9, I would have to put parentheses. Okay? Okay, and I get 63.6 centimeters squared, right? Centimeters squared. Okay, the centimeter squared comes because the we put centimeters here, and they're squared. Go on to the next problem. Now this is a combination of a arc problem with a trigonometry problem. L equals r theta, A equals theta r squared over 2. Calculate the area of the sector. So they're saying calculate the area of this whole thing. That's easy, right? We know that the area is equal to theta r squared over 2. Remember, if you write the equation, that's already a point right there. So what's theta? Theta is 2 radians. Remember, radians, they write with a little c. The radius is 15 centimeters. So each one of these lines here is 15 centimeters. And I think that's all we know, but that's all we need to know, right? We know theta is 2. We know the radius is 15 centimeters. 2. Hey, what do you know? The 2's cancel out. We're left with 15 squared, which is 225 centimeters squared. Okay? Alright, then it says calculate the area of the shaded region. Okay, so we know the area of the whole region. Now they want to know the ice cream. They want to know the ice cream part of the ice cream cone. You want to subtract out the cone. Let's see. There's probably several ways to do this, but the way you would know how to do it now for sure is, let's see. Do you see these triangles here? Now we know how to work with right triangles. This is not a right triangle, but we could make it into a right triangle. What if we just drew a line right there? Now it's 2 right triangles, right? And we know that this is 15, right? Let's try to figure out the area of one of these triangles, and then we'll just double it at the end, okay? So it's 15, and that's the hypotenuse. And we know that this angle here is half of 2 radians. It's 1 radian, okay? 1 radian. So we know some equations that could help us find out how long each of these sides are. Once we figure out the length of each of these sides, then we can figure out the area of the triangle, right? Because if we have the base and the height, then we can figure out the area of a triangle. We don't yet. All we know is the hypotenuse and the angle, but sine, cosine, and tangent can get us the rest, okay? In particular, sine and cosine. Let's see what we know. We know that sine of 1 radian is equal to, let's see, we'll name this x, we'll name this y. Okay, so we know that sine of 1 radian is the opposite over the hypotenuse. That would be x over 15. And we also know that the cosine of 1 radian is equal to the height, or the adjacent, over the hypotenuse. And actually, sine of 1 radian, that's already a number. So we already can find x, right? Because if we just substitute in that number for sine of 1 radian, and remember, if your mode is already in radians, you don't even have to do anything. Just be careful, don't do it in degrees, it'll give you a really weird answer. 0.841. So let's see, x equals, and we're going to multiply 0.841 times 5 using, times 15, or using our algebra skills. Do you see why you need to multiply by 15? Because you multiply both sides by 15, and that would give you 12.6 for x. What about y? Multiply both sides by 15, and, what was cosine of 1, by the way? Cosine of 1 radian is equal to 0.540. Okay, so 0.54 equals y over 15. Multiply both sides by 15. 15 times 0.54 equals y. 0.54 times 15 is 8.1. Okay, so let's get back to our triangle. Now we know that this y is 8.1. And now we know this x is 12.6. Okay, so now we can figure out the area of this triangle, right? It would simply be 1/2 times base times height. Okay, so let's see, that would be 12.6 times 8.1 times 0.5. 51.03. But remember, we have two of these triangles. We have one here, and we have one here, and they're the exact same size, they're just reflected. So the area is twice that. So let's multiply by 2. We get 102.06, which you could just say is 102. So, so that gives us the green area. It's 102. Oops, it's 102 centimeters squared. Now what do we need to do? They want the area of the shaded region. Now look at the shaded region. The shaded region is 225, which is this whole region, minus the ice cream cone, which is 102. So actually what we want is 225 minus 102, which is equal to 123 centimeters squared. Right? Yeah. Okay, and that's it.